Shalom. I had a storage issue on my phone, so I had to make it a two-part video. So I'm picking up where I left off. It says that in Mark chapter 15, verse 33, and when the 6th hour was come, there was darkness over the whole land until the 9th hour. So the 6th hour would be 12 p.m. or 12 noon, right? As it says. So that was the 6th hour is 12 noon, or high noon. And it says it was darkness over the land until the 9th hour, the 9th hour being 3 p.m. So that would be a period of time of 3 hours that there was darkness over the land, is what this is saying, right? But even with this, it's not saying that the moon is doing this. I don't know, if you read the book of Enoch, it's telling us that on the 15th day, it says that there should be no darkness that night, meaning that on that particular night of the 15th, the sun is setting in the west as the full moon is coming up in the east, and there should be no darkness, because right before the sun drops and the light is no longer seen, the moon is now coming up, so that the light shines the entire night and there's no darkness, is what they're saying. So with that, the sun and the moon, as far as being the full moon, are on polar opposites from each other. So you're never going to see where the moon is blocking out the sun. It just doesn't work that way. And then even with that, the Most High made two great lights, the greater light, the rule of day, the lesser, the rule of night. The moon is not going to be able to block out the sun. It's the lesser of the light. And when we see the full moon building and being out during the day, even though the moon is out during the day, it's not outshining the sun. And just like the stars never outshine the sun. The stars are always present during the day, but we can't see them because the sun is the greater light, the rule of day, right? So it says, and it was the 6th hour, meaning 12 p.m. was come, and there was darkness over the land until the 9th hour. So let me get a precept for that and see exactly what this is talking about. Amos 8 and verse 9, and it says, and it came to pass in that day, saith Yahuwah Elohim, that I will cause the sun to go down at noon, noon being the 6th hour, being 12 o'clock. It says, he says, I will cause the sun to go down at noon, and I will darken the earth in the clear day. So even with that, the eclipse, which simply means a darkening of the sun, has absolutely nothing to do with the moon jumping in front of it. And like I said, to believe the concept that NASA says, we have to believe that we're spinning in space and we're part of this solar system for us to believe that, and we're not. The earth is we live on a flat earth, which is a enclosed, stationary, self-contained environment. We are not spinning in space. That's not it. And so we can't be affected by the darkness, because like it said in Exodus 10, that darkness, it was darkness, and a darkness that may be felt, which is a spirit, right? So we can't be moved by that, and we have to understand that regardless of what's going on, what's taking place, we have to put our trust in the Most High, because even though, we're coming up on the, tomorrow, matter of fact, is the new moon day, and that's going to bring in the true month of Abib, and we'll see 13 days from then that we'll be keeping the Passover. So I just want to make this point about this too, because for whatever's taking place out here, we have to make sure that we're trusting in the Most High. We're not moved by what's going on, and we have to put our trust in the Father, just like our forefathers did. When the darkness came for 3 days, it says that it didn't affect Israel. They had light in their dwellings, right? So even during the Passover, when we know the death angel comes through and he's seeing the blood over the doorpost, the blood is symbolic to Hamashiach. He is our sacrifice. So while the death angel was coming through at midnight, and midnight being midnight of the 14th day, it wasn't at the evening, it was the 15th day, midnight of the 14th day, while the death angel was coming through, this is what our forefathers was doing. This is in Jubilees 49. It says 49:2, it says, for on this night, the beginning of the festival and the beginning of joy, you were eating the Passover in Egypt, when all the powers of Mastema had been let loose to slay the firstborn of all the land in Egypt, from the firstborn of Pharaoh unto the firstborn of the captives, the maidservant in the mill and in the cattle. So the firstborn of the cattle and everything was affected by the death angels, which this is saying. So verse 3 says, and this is the sign that Yahuwah gave them in every house on the lintels of which they saw the blood of the lamb of the first year, into the house, that they should not enter to slay, but should pass by it, that all those should be saved that were in the house because of the sign of the blood that was on the lintel. So we're covered by the blood of Hamashiach. So they put the physical blood over the door, but we know we have the spiritual blood of Hamashiach watching over us and protecting us. So this is what we need to trust in that. So it says, verse 4, and the powers of Yahuwah did everything according to as Yahuwah commanded them, and they passed by all the children of Israel, and the plagues came not upon them to destroy them from amongst the souls, either of the cattle or man or dog. So again, Israel was not affected. Just like the 3 days of darkness in Egypt, they weren't affected. They had lights in their dwelling. Now they're keeping the Passover in Egypt, while the death angel was going through smiting the firstborn of everything, from Pharaoh, from men, from the cattle to the dogs, and Israel is not being affected, right? Verse 6 says, it's going to tell us what our forefathers was doing while all this was going on. This is what Israel was doing. It says in verse 6, this is Jubilees 49 verse 6, it says, and all Israel was eating the flesh of the Pesach lamb and drinking the wine, and lauding and blessing and giving thanks to Yahuwah Elohim of their fathers, and was ready to go forth under the yoke, from under the yoke of Egypt, and from the evil bondage. So while the death angel was going through, our forefathers was rejoicing. They was eating the lamb. They was drinking the wine. They was rejoicing and having a good time. They were not affected. They were not moved by what was taking place. So if something were to take place today, as far as this eclipse is concerned, we have to be just like our forefathers. We can't be moved by what's going on. We can't be moved by what's said. We can't be moved by what's being done. We have to trust in the Most High. It says, set your affections on things above and not on things of this earth. So this is just a quick video I wanted to do in reference to that. And like I said, I'm not prophesying anything. If something does happen, then we got to trust in the Most High. If something doesn't happen, we still got to trust in the Most High. Regardless of whatever happens, we got to trust in the allure of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We cannot be moved by anything. We have to, like it's saying, we got to be standing on business. And the business we standing on is that we standing on this word. So I just wanted to do that real quick. Like I said, it's a two-part video because my storage was messed up on the phone, so I just upload both. But with that, I say, like I said in the beginning, today is the last Sabbath of the 13th lunation. So Shabbat Shalom to all those keeping the Sabbath according to Genesis 1:14, and also tomorrow at the rising of the sun, that would be the starting point of the month of Abib. It would be the first month of the year. The moon does not determine the year. It's the first month of the year. The sun and the stars bringing the year precisely at 364 days. So the year has been established as far as the equinox is concerned, and this is the first month of the year after the equinox. So as we look for the new moon, which is the crescent tomorrow, tomorrow evening is going to be the confirmation that tomorrow during the 12 hours of light called day is when we're celebrating new moon day. So tomorrow at the rise of the sun, all praise to the Most High, we can come before him. The gate of the temple, according to Ezekiel 46 and verse 1-3, will be open and will not be shut until the evening. So tomorrow, rejoice before the Most High. bringing in the month of Abib, and we're looking forward to 13 days after that to celebrate the Pesach, so we can do as our forefathers did. We can rejoice before him, eat the Pesach meal, and drink the wine, and have a good time. So with that, I say, Shalom.